I've seen you perform with the Star of David and proudly display your Jewishness. But that phrase you just used, to come out as a Jew, to come out as a Zionist, why on earth should either of these be things that should be hidden?
Oh, it was just a strange thing. For me, I've been a musician for more than 40 years. And but in, back in about 2008 or 9 and 10, and we started writing these songs that were, I guess, were kind of the first bridge between being Jewish and being musicians. From 2013, of my nervousness putting out stories of ghosts and really publicly standing up there and saying, yes, I'm a Jew. My father changed his name. I'm not really a Conway. There's no Irish blood in me. To 2023, 10 years later, and really being, sideswiped by this, completely fully formed, fire-breathing dragon that exploded forth on October the 9th. Quite shocking.
I have been staggered by the level of ignorance and the level of hatred on display in Australia. Has it frightened you?
Has it frightened me? I guess, it was sort of, I just felt like we were living again through some sort of historical moment, late 1930s Berlin. I've read a bit about that, and it felt familiar what was going on. And it's because no one in authority has really stamped it out, has really said, okay, I mean, only recently have these events been called terrorist incidents, and only recently has there been sort of serious steps to arrest people, to pass laws that make this kind of thing beyond the pale. But there are laws in place, they just haven't really been enforced.
It has taken a long time, because we were calling out some of this weakness on October the 8th last year and October the 9th because of the immediate reaction of some Palestinian sympathisers and Islamist groups in Australia. But state premiers and Anthony Albanese have been so slow and so weak. Are they culpable?
I'm not suggesting for a moment that people who are in positions of authority in this country are anti-Semitic. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying I don't believe that they have read history correctly, and I think that they thought that if we just ignore it, it'll go away. As an observer, as a very interested observer, it seems to me that a lot of this could have been avoided had there been some very strong actions taken right at the beginning and nipped it in the bud and said, we will not tolerate this in our country, and then gone about enforcing the laws that would make that very untenable for people.
Has this shaken your faith in your fellow Australians and in our political leadership?
There's so many of my fellow Australians that have been so supportive. And I see that, when they write letters, and they see that in the social media. It's like, I put up a social media post, and, I get 10 lovely comments, and then, 3 really nasty comments. But then other people kind of come in and they counter, what the very nasty people have said. Nasty is a very mild word for it.
Yes, it is. It is.
That's as strong as I can go.
Yeah. Now, just finally, then, ignorance. I think ignorance plays a huge role in this. And look, I'm known to be a critic of other forms of media, but surely the media in this country must be culpable for, I think, circulating what in many cases amounts to Hamas propaganda rather than real news and real history.
Well, that's what I'm hearing. Having, looking across the broad spectrum of mainstream media, yes, I would have to agree with you. They have parroted the Hamas Ministry of Health's figures, which are then, laundered by, our international institutions. It has been terrible, absolutely dreadful for the Gazans as well. And we all know that. But I think the point is, you can't solve the Middle East conflict from Australia. You can't solve the Middle East conflict with a spray can walking around Woollahra spreading hate or firebombing kindergartens or synagogues. You can't solve the Middle East crisis by cancelling Jewish artists, sculptors, writers. This is not the way that wars end, and it's not a fair representation of what that war is to our nation's media consumers.
Deborah Conway, congratulations on the way you've been an advocate on this issue. Congratulations on the Australian of the Year award, and thanks for talking to us.
It's okay, Chris. Thanks.